Sit down.
Thanks.
So Vibhu Krishna
Yes.
from Dharapuram, Kolachi Road.
Yes.
Vibhu, I noticed that in your spelling of your name, you put Krishna with one day.
Yes.
Something interesting about that?
Yes, sir. My mother is a believer in numerology.
So,
So she believed that 2 years at the end will be better for my future.
What is the number that relates to it? What is the total number?
Sir, since I don't believe in numerology, so I didn't bother with it.
I also noticed that you're from Tirupur.
Yes, sir.
Now, the Australian Open recently,
Yes, sir.
Tirupur was also in the news. You were to tell us something about that, something interesting about the Kastu there, the link between Australian Open and Tirupur.
Yes, sir. There was the ball boys and ball girls at the Australian Open were wearing T-shirts that were created from recycled pet bottles of the pool.
Yes. Vibhu,
Yes, sir.
is there anything very specific about your name, Vibhu Krishna? It looks a little special.
Sir,
Does it carry any meaning or?
Sir, Vibhu means Lord or omnipresent. It's similar meaning. So it's Lord Krishna.
Your parents are believers of Lord Krishna.
Yes. They're generally more religious than that.
Okay. What's your view on religion? Are you a believer or a non-believer?
Sir, I'm an agnostic.
Agnostic.
Yes.
Why you are an agnostic? Is there any specific reason? Because a lot of people tend to believe religion.
Sir, because I try to read or try to learn more about anything that I come across, and the more I dive into it, and the more information that I get, generally made me an agnostic. So I'm generally open to any information that I can verify and take it in my stride to understand about it. So as of now, with whatever I have learned in this stage, sir.
Do you think that following a religion will give some advantage to an individual? Is it necessary criteria to be an ethical?
Sir, while looking through the history of last 2000, 3000 years where we have had religion, I believe that there have been some positive effects. There are positive effects where religion-based morality has been the forebearer of human civilization, and there's also the question of tolerance that's associated with tolerance and intolerance that's associated with religions. So I believe it's a mixed bag, sir.
Is there any empirical evidence suggesting religious belief and morality there is a correlation?
Sir, I'm not aware of any empirical connections between them. But for many of us, for many people, religion is the first point where we learn about morality. So that's an interesting and important connection people have with morality and ethics.
I hope your subject is engineering.
Yes, sir.
You must have come across the recent budget.
Yes, sir.
What's the overall narrative you could learn from this budget? I understand from this budget.
Sir, I haven't had gone through it in its entirety, but from what I've learned from the summary of the budget, this was aimed at overturning the current slowdown, and right now this is trying to create a balance between not spending too much so as to breaching the fiscal deficit far too much, and also ensuring that we overturn the current slowdown. So I believe this strikes a balance between it. So how it goes forward with the implementations, we'll have to wait and see.
Why this fiscal? Do you think that sticking to fiscal deficit is the preferred approach, or are there any alternate views from that?
So I believe fiscal deficit is an important parameter that we have to keep in mind while preparing a budget or spending on anything. However, there should be some exceptions like we have now. I mean, the global slowdown and also India going through a particularly slow period of economy. I believe fiscal deficit will have to be say cast aside for at least for a considerable amount of time, so as to kickstart the economy.
What's the assumed fiscal deficit for the current year?
Sir,
21.
Sir, it's I think it's 2.8%. The 3.8%. The allowable limit is 3.5%, according to FRBM Act.
This budget, the newspaper, there is a talk about this Tolinomics. Could you explain what is that?
Sir, Tolinomics was an interesting concept that was put forward in the economic survey. So what they have done is, what the chief economic advisor has done is, they have taken measures of the data on how much each an average person from each state can afford a veg thali or a non-veg thali, and based on that, the affordability, we can use this data to tailor-made schemes for each state. For example, a person from Kerala or Tamil Nadu, from the data given in the economic survey, are better able to afford a veg thali. And with that, we can also tailor poverty programs to ensure adequate calories are made affordable for everyone.
The affordability has increased or remains same or?
So, in the last couple of decades, it has increased. And however, there are differences between how veg and non-veg. Veg has been more affordable than non-veg, is what economic survey has shown.
What do you think the relationship between the RBI, which basically gets out of the monetary policy, and the budget kind of comes out of the fiscal policy? How do you think each one support or coordinate amongst themselves?
So, I believe both are complementary and both are needed. So, the budget, the RBI comes out with the monetary policy that is more aimed at short-term measures to either control inflation or to control the flow of money in the economy, in the market. And fiscal measures are more like long-term measures with reference to capital expenditure or capital revenues. So which requires much more discussion and which requires people elected leaders to be discussed about.
What is the role of
So, RBI is the foremost body in regulating the economy. Be it inflation or any other flow of money with regard to foreign resource or the money flow in our internal economy. RBI is the arbitrator, final arbitrator and controller of those.
do you think RBI should come out with a fiscal policy?
Sir, I personally don't agree with that opinion because RBI's specialization is in monetary policy. Though they can handle fiscal policy, I believe we are better off with having this under control of people elected leaders.
So, Vendu Krishna, you are coming from Dharwad.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the common natural vegetation of your area?
Of our area.
Common natural vegetation of your area, which is ecologically more important and also very sensitive.
So, we belong to a region of deciduous trees, if natural vegetation is taken into account. And right now, in the surroundings of our area, we are unable to find any natural vegetation as it were, since most of them are now walking towards urbanization or being turned into farmlands.
Make a question. You have a village, Attakadu.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
What does that mean?
Sir, I'm not aware of the I have visited the
This
place.
is Attakadu. Attakadu. What is mean by Kadayu?
So it's a bird, like this bird.
Bird.
Yes.
What is its importance?
Sir, apart from being delicious meal,
This is a great Indian bird found only in the semi-arid grasslands of India and Pakistan. This is an endangered species. Commonly found only in your area. And in Tamil Nadu and Madhya Pradesh. That Kada
That's
Kada area is
very sustainable.
Yes, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, this area tractor.
Sultan.
Yes, all this. This is famous one. It's an endangered species in India. Kadakiri is common in Europe. You have heard of that? This Kadakiri is
I think since you are moving to North Nigeria, we can go over the
okay, so it is because of the grasslands you have in that area
Yes, sir.
that support this kind of birds.
Yes.
What kind of grassland is that?
Dry.
Semi-arid grasslands. The grasslands like that of what you see in Australia
Yes.
and Midwest USA.
Right.
This almost where you have this kind of animals.
Right.
And what is the another importance with regard to these grasslands? How it has supported a variety, typical variety of livestock.
So they provide raising.
Typical variety of livestock. Kangayan bull.
Yes, sir.
This is a known different bull type in India.
Yes, sir.
It is the product of this grassland.
Right.
It has cultivated its own habit of ferocity.
Yes, sir.
Nothing can match it.
Yes.
So because it was freely roaming in the
Why?
roaming in the grassland. Still that is the practice. If you allow this bull to roam, it will be more ferocious.
Right.
So that is why the Kangaroo breed has its own brand.
Right.
Kangaroo. Is it? That's, and many more things are there. Okay.
We'll ask.
Okay.
Right.
That's
So I'm very impressed with the fact that you have been part of the NCC community.
Yes, sir.
This was the senior division, you got the C certificate, right?
Yes, sir.
You didn't have an intention to join the armed forces.
No, sir. Actually, in my school days, I had aspirated because I was in army in my school days. But since I was in 9th standard, at the time when I forward my idea with my parents, and since I was adolescent, at the time I couldn't convince my parents and went with their ideas.
But then I'm from the NCC, both junior division and senior division. My parents allowed me to go. I didn't convince them. They told me to go. I went. Why your parents didn't allow me?
Maybe I was on that type.
You are not very convincing, probably.
9th standard.
So what? I was. Okay, so I have one more question. I see you're very connected to your mother.
Yes, yes, sir.
Now, tell me, I've seen the income that you have stated here.
Yes, sir.
You said your father's income is so and so, and your mother's income is so and so. Now, there's a difference. There's a disparity.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you feel about this? It's okay. I mean, does it create any confusion in the family?
So, no, sir. Personally, also in our family, as you know, my father was very encouraging of my mother to join a job after marriage.
Okay, I just put it different. What do you think about women's empowerment?
Sir, that's a very important thing as far as our country is concerned. To paraphrase Vivekananda, a bird cannot fly a single wing. So, we have seen our female labor force participation rates going on in the last couple of years. Economic Survey has also pointed that out. And I think that's a very important thing that we must focus on in the coming years.
No, that sounds very good. But tell me, if you were to get a wife who
Yes.
earned more than you, are you okay with it?
But totally be okay with it.
I don't know the shield you
One more question.
Yes, sir.
About the CDS. You heard about the CDS,
Yes.
right? What is this? I mean, what does it mean? Do we need it? Do we not need it?
I assume you're referring to combined different rules where people get into
There's a new post that
Oh,
has been created.
sorry, sir. Chief of the Defense Staff, I'm sorry.
Who's it now?
Sir, General Bipin Rao.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, that's something that was much needed, which was already recommended by a couple of panels earlier. General Secretariat Committee also recommended it. So, almost every major army, like People's Liberation of Army of China, though there's a balance between army, navy, and air forces skewed, we need a single point of communication between the government and the military forces. So this will be very important in that. And also to ensure that we are also planning for theatre commands. So integrated theatre commands. There the government defense staff, their CS is very much an important requirement in managing.
Alright, by the way, I'm impressed with the grooming that you've done, but where did you shave? You were part of the NCC, right?
Yes, sir.
Where did you shave?
Yes, sir.
belongs to government school.
Yes.
Government school or government aided school?
Government.
Government school. Okay. Recently we saw that your 5th class and 8th class examinations were cancelled.
Yes.
Public examinations were cancelled.
Yes.
What is your view on it?
So I believe 5th and 8th standard exams, though they were introduced with the good intention of making sure that they don't face pressure in 10th and whatever. It's a bit more for small children to manage that much pressure at a small age. So I support them more scrapping those pressure.
Shouldn't you support to the idea of examining the student through an examination?
Sir, especially what gets measured is managed, sir, I agree with that. But the way which we conduct, the way method that we use for conducting exams actually add pressure and or not, in my opinion, a direct indicator of whether a person is talented or not. So, 5th and 8th standard board exams are actually an extension of 10th and 12th standard exams that itself need a reform. So, I don't think this will help that much in improving pedagogical methods and
On the extension of it, what is your view on the new education policy that is put?
Sir, this was so long overdue because the last new education policy that we had was a couple of decades back. So this is a welcome move, and also this must be accompanied with the pending higher education policy also of classifying the colleges into 3 categories. So as to ensure that there is a seamless connection between both. Currently, we have disjointed ones where the school education system is not is overproductive. We have higher enrollment rates, but we don't have quality, and this is affecting the higher education system, the college system in a bad way. So this must be accompanied with that also.
But don't you think that the new education policy is resulting in centralization of education as an item within the list?
So I believe education should be centralized so as to ensure that there is quality control. But however, I also have a point opposite that, because there should be tailor-made schemes for all the states, because we have better education systems in Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Maharashtra, and we have patches of bad examples in between too. So we must have tailor-made schemes. Also we have lower enrollment rates in some of the places. There I believe we must have tailor-made schemes so as to ensure that those who are left off can rejoin school or college or any point.
Of the 3 lists that we have, union list, concurrent list and state list, to which list education belongs to?
Sir, concurrent.
There is a demand that education should move towards state list.
Yes, sir.
What is your view on it?
So, I believe that it should stay in the concurrent list because, as I said earlier, centralization is important for quality control to have a nationwide syllabus. However, concurrent and not state list, not union list, because we need tailor-made policies. There should be a balance between them, so that the central government can put out model programs or model laws which state governments can adapt to their own needs.
Just give us few knowledge on what is hempcrete concrete system.
Yes, hempcrete was a project that we did back in our school. So hemp is a variety of canopy without that intoxicating element. So what we did was we took the chive, the inner part of the stem, and crushed it, made it into a powder, and substituted a part of cement, a percentage of cement for hemp. So there was already projects called hempcrete. So we also named our project as hempcrete, and so for different percentages, there were different results.
Is this for high-rising building, is it? So the building gets high.
No,
Because of the head.
Base of concrete, they make concrete.
So how do you think your civil engineering will help you? You did civil engineering as an education, then you moved to political science as a subject for your civil service there. But you are from a textile city. So how does textile, civil engineering, and political science do you think will equip you to be a good civil servant?
Yes, sir. Civil servant in mostly is required to be jack of all trades. So I think this law.
No more jacks. Yeah, go ahead.
Regarding my background, I helped out with my father when I was for a couple of years, and that helped me get a sense of how difficult or how easy business is in India. Just a right side view of how easy it is in India, in Tamil Nadu specifically. And regarding my engineering background, that's another story where engineers I believe have a better sense of comprehension of complex tasks.
No, tell me the truth. You did engineering of your own will or someone forced you?
Sir, I was not forced, but I would agree that there was some peer pressure. Everyone was taking engineering, and I was also attracted to it.
So you also took political science and Tamil basically for the marks, correct?
Tamil, sorry.
For the
Political science.
Political science and international relations.
Basically for marks, right?
Sir, I was poised to take civil engineering and found that it was syllabus was very large, so I liked the subject. And the second most liked subject was political science and international relations because I was interested in these two things.
My only last question to you is that you have said amongst your hobbies you mentioned GIS
Yes.
mapping.
Yes, yes.
Now, what is it all about? And there are a few security aspects which are now coming out through drones.
Yes.
Apart from the geographical spatial knowledge that can reside in private hands.
Yes.
You saw the claim to be the Soleimani and some of the other things were all NS.
Yes, yes.
So, it will have internal security is what those others are about. So, internal security, GIS mapping, and privatization.
Yes. So, mostly the security aspects related to the GPS, the global location system. GIS is mostly of anonymized data, where we have publicly available data and used for other service aspects, service area aspects for agriculture or disaster management. So, the question of data security comes in where whether newer data is added in a wrong way. So that I believe is a concern that we must address. We don't know whether we must look at passing the data protection bill that is currently pending also. And as of how GIS used to, GIS is actually a very broad area. What we use, we have various raw data that we don't have categories or without context. So with geotagging and geolocating, so we get context out of it. We can add multiple layers of data, and using that we can get context out of it and make our work much more efficient. For example, in Nagpur recently, the government added public distribution, LPG distribution centers in one layer, and the people required people who need LPG in another layer, and efficiently map out which center they have to be mapped. So there is also much useful in disaster management. Even Google Earth is the most complex GIS project that we have right now, and we have our own Google Earth in the form of ISRO's Kuwait. And Tamil Nadu recently launched the TN Smart for disaster management techniques.
What sir is talking about, it's all this information, everyone agrees it's very useful and
Yes.
stuff like that. But it's like nuclear energy. We don't know who's going to use it for what.
Yes, yes.
That's where the problem is. So we want to know from you, yeah, very passionate about it.
Privatization.
Passionate about it, but
Yes.
how do you control it? How do you put checks and balances? How do we ensure that it goes only to the right people, used for the right purpose?
Yes. So the first check obviously is the development of a legal framework, which is currently underway in the form of a data protection bill. And secondly, we must have a transparent process of using that data. For example, ISRO has publicly available data, which I have personally used for making improvement back in our home. So private data collection should be made transparent. For example, if a private organization, other than using data from ISRO's database, they also need to collect data. There must be a transparent procedure laid out so that they can take information. And the third most important requirement is anonymization of data, so that people are not harassed or the data is not used. So if the data is anonymized, it can be used for public purposes without endangering the original data principle.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.